Good morning, everybody. 9 a.m., 66 degrees on this Tuesday morning. Joining Patrick up on the roof once again today, but it's not nearly as nice right now as it was yesterday.
I know. These clouds better clear. They will. It'll
you
be
said
in the
they
80s.
would.
I know, but yeah. Well, look, see over there? See,
a little bit of blue.
Clearing, so that's a sign.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's there somewhere.
It's there. I know. It's almost. It's coming.
So the morning rain is done, but
Yeah.
we will. The storm potential for this evening is a big deal. Did you find what you were looking for on your phone, by the way?
No, I'm looking for it. It's a picture of William.
We're talking about
Concert
Elliot has a
photos.
chorus concert tonight. Are you a parent that actually takes pictures and video of your kid's chorus concert in
Which you will
like
never
6th
watch
grade?
again. And
Who
you
goes
won't-
back to
Right.
watch the chorus concert video from 6th grade?
And I'm sorry, it's often horrible.
Tell me something I don't know, Patrick.
Or how about when they're playing violin?
However, the middle school orchestra did just have a concert, and it was part of whatever. I listened to it. I'm like, that's a big improvement from 5th grade.
Yeah.
So good for them. But
Well, Melissa's
it's
son's
so,
got a chorus concert tonight, and we were saying, are you going to take pictures of them? Because you feel like you're supposed to.
right, because everyone else is.
But then they're livid at you for taking a picture of them while they're up there.
Right, but who goes back and
Right.
tries to pick out their kid with 100 other kids in the picture?
Yeah.
And I would compare chorus concert pictures and videos in your phone to firework video in your phone. Who goes back to watch fireworks videos on their phone? Oh, that 4th of July display 3 years ago was a really good one.
The red one that looks like a flower. Yeah.
And the one that looks like a weeping willow.
Yeah.
Let's go find that.
I was saying my same view is of taking video at a concert from way in the back, and you
Yeah.
can see, the idea is I can relive the moment. Well, I'm sorry, it's not the same. You don't hear it,
And
you don't share with anybody because
No.
nobody cares.
And I really don't like going to concerts when people aren't in it. They're
No,
not
they're all
dancing. They're just
videoing.
videoing. Instead of
Yeah.
the good old days where you're
Yeah.
watching and taking it in, and you've got
Totally
these
agree.
memories to think of.
But then again, on the flip side, I totally agree with you. But some concerts, what was huge in the 70s and 80s was to tape concerts. So you would have these really
You
nice.
personally?
I didn't do it, but a lot of people would tape. Dave Matthews Band,
Yeah.
people tape those. A lot of jam bands, Grateful Dead.
Right.
People record those shows, and then they become a part of a music library.
Right. Well, OAR
So-
does that. My favorite band, and so then at the end of the show, you can go and pick up the
Right.
thumb drive of that concert,
That show.
or it's archived and you can buy it on their website
Right.
now, which is great. But let someone else do it so I can
Right.
enjoy it, and then I'll go and do it again and
but
buy it.
when you're watching, everybody's. You're right. And I noticed that too. I love the show, the Today Show. They have these musical guests that come on, in the plaza, and everybody's got their phone out
Right.
instead of enjoying the experience. I don't know. You're right.
Did you just see Jason Derulo on the Today Show?
Yeah. What's going on there? The dancing was incredible.
Yeah, it was a little.
Was it a little risque?
It was a little risque for
Oh.
Tuesday on the Today Show.
Yeah, right.
That demographic, I don't think is really into Jason
Yeah.
Derulo and his backup dancers.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little.
Interesting.
It was meant for the Tonight Show, maybe.
They prefer your type of dancing on the roof.
Right.
Not the Jason
Wait, who is Derulo? I don't know who
Jason
he is.
Derulo? He's
I'm not sure. who.
hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think is he from Haiti? I think he was talking about.
Yes.
He's really, promoting his country, which
Uh-huh.
is really in need of some good, positive vibes because they've had so many natural disasters.
So he's a good ambassador.
And
for that
he's
country.
a great ambassador.
Good message.
Yes, a very good message. Maybe that's what we missed the message and we were watching the saucy dancing, but the message was
We
there.
meaning he.
Right.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to go down. We've got some news to get to. I'm going to go downstairs. You do the weather from up
Okay.
here, where we do need to talk about the storms for tonight and the timing of it all.
Yep, we'll
Because
do that.
Elliot has a baseball to chorus. Will baseball be canceled? You don't care about my son's schedule. I'm going to go downstairs.
It's in my calendar. I know what he's doing. It's kind of hard not when you work with you. It's hard not to be up to date on the comings and goings of Elliot. Good for him. All right. If you are like Elliot and have a baseball practice tonight or any other sport, there could be some thunderstorms. Here's a quick peek ahead over the next couple days. Clearly, it's going to be getting cooler. As you can see, temperatures today in the 80s will cool off into the low 60s tomorrow and only in the 50s on Thursday. So we've got a lot of clouds over us. We should see some partial clearing, so we'll call it partly cloudy to mostly sunny today, with temperatures climbing into the low 80s. There is a front that is out to the west that'll move in later today and help trigger some thunder showers this evening. Here's a 4 o'clock snapshot. It is dry, temperatures into the 80s. But notice, this is like between 8:30 and 9:30. There's that line of rain. So if you've got, let's say, a nighttime baseball game or late or evening, hopefully you get those 4 innings in before 8:30, because there comes the rain and it will move through here this evening. So tomorrow morning, that rain is done and we're left with lots of clouds, maybe a shower tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll call it partly cloudy and temperatures will fall into the 60s. And then we're into the 50s on Thursday. Mostly sunny though on Thursday. Friday, mostly cloudy. Oh, that breeze feels very nice. But I do see some clearing. Oh yes. Promises of some sun are coming. Then on the weekend, rain on Saturday. It looks like a soaking rain at this point, and some showers lingering into Sunday. Hopefully a little better for Memorial Day Monday under partly cloudy skies. Melissa.
All right, very good. Patrick, thank you. Well, it is 9:06 now on Daybreak, and many school districts here in Western New York and across the state will vote on their new budgets today, shaping their financial plans for the next year. But unless there's a last-minute change in Albany, they will do so without knowing how much money they're going to be getting from the state to work with. Yesterday, the New York State Assembly passed another budget extension. It's the 13th since an agreement on Governor Kathy Hochul's budget was originally due back on April 1st. School districts have a projected estimate on how much education funding they will receive in the state budget, but until that is officially passed, school leaders tell Two on Your Side that they'll just have to make an educated guess during their budget votes. A town of Tonawanda man accused of killing his wife is set to return to court Thursday following his arrest over the weekend. 36-year-old Nicholas Malvaso faces second-degree murder charges after police found his wife, 51-year-old Tiffany Malvaso, dead in her home on Cleveland Drive in the town of Tonawanda Saturday morning. Officers say she had suffered blunt force trauma. He's being held in the Erie County Holding Center without bail following his arraignment Saturday afternoon. And if you or someone you know is in need of help, the National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7. That number's on your screen right now. You can call or text 1-800-799-7233. A couple in Cheektowaga is facing 3 years in prison in connection to the death of their infant daughter. 26-year-old Luis Gonzalez Jr. and 23-year-old Katrina Udria have both pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Prosecutors say the two recklessly caused the death of their 2.5-month-old daughter, London, in July of 2023. Investigators say doctors warned the parents about the baby not gaining enough weight, but authorities say the couple never returned to the pediatrician for follow-up appointments. The medical examiner ruled the baby died from malnutrition and dehydration caused by neglect. They're scheduled to be sentenced in July. Well, we are getting an update on a story that we first brought you yesterday morning on Daybreak. Buffalo police are investigating a shooting that sent one person to the hospital. It happened around 10 o'clock Sunday night on Shirley Avenue. Officers arrived to the scene and found a man with a gunshot wound to the back. He was taken to ECMC for treatment. He is expected to be okay. And police are asking anyone with information about that shooting to call or text 911 or the Buffalo Police confidential tip line at the number on your screen. The town of Tonawanda officially has a new supervisor this morning. Former Erie County District Attorney John Flynn is replacing the Joseph Eminger, who retired. Flynn was officially sworn in during a board meeting last night. Flynn has held several positions in the town government over the years, including councilman, town attorney, and town justice. And we asked Flynn what his vision for the town is now that he's supervisor.
but public safety is obviously going to be, first and foremost on my mind. That and the waterfront. We have a beautiful waterfront here on the river in the town of Tonawanda.
And while Flynn settles into his new role, his appointment is drawing some criticism. That's because he was simply chosen by the Democratic Party, and residents didn't have the chance to vote. Some people are now calling for changes to New York's vacancy appointment process.
This person's being appointed, and he gets to run as an incumbent the next go around. That means he's already seated without being elected at all. So day one in office, he's never been voted for. That's the problem.
How did this happen that other individuals other than us are making the decision of who's going to be our government leaders?
And Flynn is pushing back on those criticisms, saying it doesn't matter because Eminger was already not planning to be on the ballot for this November. The city of North Tonawanda has a new program to help residents replace damaged sidewalks in front of their home at now a lower cost. It's called Sidewalk 50/50. And the city of North Tonawanda says it will cover 50% of the replacement costs for eligible residential sidewalk projects. The city will select the contract through a public bidding process. To be eligible, your property taxes and water bills must be current, and only property owners can apply. Funding for the program is limited, and applications will be on a first-come, first-served basis until funds run out. And for more information on how to apply, you can visit our website, WGRZ.com. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will talk Sabres and much more right after the break. Welcome back, everybody. 9:13 on Daybreak, and we will be hearing more from Sabres players today and tomorrow. We just got the media availability for the end of the year locker cleanout and final interviews. There's one at 1 o'clock today. We don't know which players will be available, but some will be available today. And then tomorrow at about 8:15 in the morning, more players will be available. So here, as we're streaming on Daybreak, we'll try to bring that live to you during Daybreak as we're hearing from the players as they're cleaning out their lockers. As for Coach Lindy Ruff and GM Jarmo Kekalainen, we don't know when they're going to be available, but they have to make themselves available for an end-of-year press conference. But there's still so much that
Have we even heard from Kekalainen since the day he was hired?
And since they started doing so well?
No, and again, yeah. I mean, you might want to attribute him to the surge that the Sabres went through. But yeah, I mean, now his job starts, is to
They have a lot of decisions to make.
Coaches and players.
Tuck, are you going to re-sign him? And he didn't have a single point in this entire series with Montreal.
But then he did with the Bruins, so it's like, can you?
Right. He had a great year.
Right.
He's a good leader on the team. He's from Syracuse. He grew up as a Sabres fan. There's a lot of love for Alex Tuck. So what are you going to do with his contract? Who's going to be our starting goaltender?
Right.
And Lindy Ruff. How long is he going to be staying with the team? So Jarmo Kekalainen has a lot of decisions to make in this off season. And as we're still kind of wrapping our heads around the sudden end to this playoff run, it was a heartbreaker last night. Overtime loss in Game 7 against the Canadiens. I saw a tweet this morning that said Buffalo was just best at losing. And
wait, what does that mean? They got to the second round of the play. Best in winning. I'm sorry.
As a lifelong Buffalo sports fan, I have never seen a championship.
I understand that.
And just Buffalo loses in heartbreaking ways.
But they won 55 games this season.
Yes, but it wasn't a Game 6. It wasn't just like a traditional loss. It was an overtime loss in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
I get it, but
hurts.
Yes, okay, so the Bills lost in overtime, but they made it deep into the playoffs. That's winning. You have to win to do that.
It's so wonderful, too. They're one of the top 5 teams in the NHL. They proved themselves that they were meant to be there. It wasn't a fluke that they were there. A lot of people were wondering, what Sabres team is this? Clearly, they're a great team, but it still hurts to lose in overtime in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
I understand. I totally understand that with the championship. But to say that Buffalo sports are best at losing, sorry, they won their division. They got to the second round of the playoffs, made it to Game 7. That's not best
overall,
of losing.
Name a city that all of their sports franchises have lost in such heartbreaking fashion.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what this is.
I know, I
There's
get it.
13 seconds, there's wide right, there's no goal.
It just says it's the best at losing.
I know it sounds bad, but it's kind of true. Name a city that's been more cursed with their sports losses than Buffalo.
Yeah.
And this one, a lot of people will look back and say, was that whistle blown too soon? Was that a goal?
Right. And I was curious to see if that would be as controversial as some of the classic no goal, wide right, all of that stuff.
It will never rank
it
that
can't.
high.
But it does look like that puck is loose under the goalie and the whistle was blown in that shouldn't have. That should have been a goal.
Right.
I mean, but.
So that's what we have to say about that. What does our sports team have to say? Take a look.
John Scott here with Jonathan Acosta. As the Sabres season coming to an end in overtime of Game 7. There were some missed opportunities, maybe some calls you didn't necessarily agree with that could have gone one way or the other. But at the end of the day, it's kind of what happens once you get to overtime, especially in a do-or-die scenario, and the Sabres on the wrong side of it.
And the Canadians, no strangers to pulling off this sort of wins. It's what they did in the first round against Tampa Bay, Game 7 in Tampa. They're outshot 29-9, and they find a way to win that game. Coincidentally enough, Alex Newhook had the winner in that one. He gets the winner in this one. It looked like his shot dropped a little bit on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, still probably a save that he would have liked to make. And so the Sabres season comes to an end in heartbreaking fashion. Again, in these types of Game 7s, overtime games, it's one puck here, one bounce here that can go either way that really makes all the difference. And the Sabres, even Lindy Ruff saying postgame that he felt like they had opportunities to make that difference, and they just didn't get the job done.
I think that Beck Malenstein play is going to be a talking point similar to the Brandon Cooks interception or catch that the Bills season ultimately ended on earlier in the year as well. Now we kind of play this game of, all right, projecting forward, where do they go from here after a sensational season? But you also need to appreciate it. And it's really hard, and we get why players and coaches immediately, fresh off defeat, can't do that. But we can, and we have to reflect and say, this team was dead last. First couple months of the season, wins their division, and gets to a Game 7 of the second round. It's an incredible turnaround that you have to look in that light as well.
Captain Rasmus Dahlin, obviously very emotional after the game. He said he wasn't able to sort of appreciate this, that he'd be able to better do that at a later point this week. Lindy Ruff, I think the maturity and him being so experienced and such a veteran coach, he said he was able to, saying that this loss stings, it's a pain that won't go away, but that he won't let this one loss define their season. I think that's an appropriate perspective for this team, because I don't think anyone expected this team to go and win the Stanley Cup at the beginning of the season, certainly not on December 9th when they were 11-14-4. Maybe you convinced yourself that that would be the case once they went on and won the division and they get past the first round, but I think when we look back on this season, they get to the second round. They force a Game 7 against Montreal. Yes, the loss stings, but still overall, the step that this franchise took after not being in the playoffs for 14 years, to not just limp their way into the playoffs, but to do it by winning the division, winning a round in the playoffs. Disappointing, but still overall a successful season for what Lindy Ruff and the Sabres team were able to accomplish.
And yet we go into an offseason with some significant questions, particularly who will be their goalie moving forward next season. Will Alex Tuch be back? And what also is potentially even the future of their head coach? A lot of things to talk about. We will hear from their players and head coach as the week goes on. With Jonathan Acosta, I'm John Scott for Channel 2 Sports.
Good take, and just a lot to look forward to. I'm interested to see how much their season ticket sales increased. Fans could get playoff tickets if they signed up for season tickets. And so how much do those go up, knowing that this is a young team? This is hopefully not the last time we see them in the playoffs before another 14-season drought.
The next season starts in like 2 months. It's the shortest off season. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think training camp
in October
is in September.
Yeah.
And I mean, my goodness, it's like the same time. Think about this: the Bills and Sabres, their seasons start close together. The Bills season ended like 5 months ago.
Right.
And the Sabres ended last night.
Yeah.
So
Bills and OTAs, by the way, right now.
Yes.
And so we will be able to shift our focus now to another sports team, but it's going to be a little bit of a lull before things really pick back up with Buffalo sports.
You know, you grew up here without any of these championship conversations for so long. And to think, yeah, we haven't really, I mean, this will make the offseason for the Bills that much quicker because we've been so focused on hockey so much deeper into the season than you ever have.
And what a great time for things to wrap up, because now the weather's getting nicer. There will be festivals every single weekend in Western New York. The weather will start getting beautiful. There's time to get outside, enjoy the kids being off from school, and then sports starts all over again. So it's good to be a Buffalo sports fan right now, have a little bit of a break, and then have things pick up with the brand new opening of the brand new stadium and, you know, big things hopefully ahead for both franchises here in Buffalo. All right, we'll be back right after this. Stay with us. Well, we are celebrating in addition to the Two on Your Side family. That's Lauren Hall there and her husband Matt and their daughter Daisy, and they are so happy to welcome the fourth member of their family. This is George Matthew Connors. Lauren and George are both doing really well. Daisy's so excited to be a big sister, and Lauren says they're just soaking up their first few days as a family of four now. So congratulations to Lauren and Matt and Daisy and George as they begin this happy chapter together. Love the name George. Patrick, you need to close your eyes for a second. We're gonna do a fun game.
Okay.
Okay, so just this week.
I have to close my eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna put on the screen, I think, do we have a screen? Yes. The most popular baby names in New York State in 2025.
Okay.
Let's start with boys. There's 5 of them.
Aiden.
Nope.
Elijah.
No.
Ezekiel. I'm kidding.
No, but actually number 1 is a religious name.
Oh, Noah.
Yes.
Noah.
Good one. You got it.
Wow.
That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is Irish.
Irish. Well, I know it's not Patrick because nobody's called Patrick anymore.
Patrick's a great name, though.
Thank you. I just
Liam.
Liam.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
Number 3, a nickname is a stuffed animal.
Theodore.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4 is very, very, very popular, but I go back to Mr. Perry from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, Matthew.
No, that's 90s. So I guess 80s. Luke Perry.
Oh, Luke?
Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas is number 4.
What happened to Luke Perry?
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Boy, is that what it's come to?
Okay. And number 5 is a musical.
And it's a male. Oliver.
Yes. Very good. Wow.
Pretty good, huh?
Okay. Girls' names. Oh, are you looking?
Oh, no, I didn't see it. Okay. Do you want to do it? Do you want to play?
I know them.
Oh, okay. Okay, girls' names, go.
Okay. Number 5, number 5, we're going to go in reverse order, is a princess.
Leia.
No.
Leah.
No, like an actual royal princess.
Not
a fake one.
Diane.
No, Diana is.
Diana.
No.
Diane.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Oh, okay. Yeah. Love that name.
If I was going to have a girl, it would have been Charlotte.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 4 is like the most, I would think, no, I guess all of these are pretty popular. Sorry. Golden Girls, the old one.
Oh, Ruth.
There was no.
Golden Girls. What's her name? She was
the oldest
Maude.
one. No. Okay, you clearly haven't watched Golden Girls.
Maude was the Betty, whatever her name is, the actress. That was her character was Maude before she went on the Golden Girls.
Oh, right. Okay. That was Rose on the Golden Girls.
Rose. Okay.
Sophia.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, I don't think you're gonna get it. Mia.
Okay.
Okay. And then 1 and 2 have been the most popular girls' names like forever.
Clue?
No, I don't know. Emma and Olivia.
Olivia.
Yes. That's what I should
Okay.
say. You can
I got the clue in my ear from
you
our
can
producer.
take your hand down.
Okay.
Emma and Olivia.
Olivia, yeah, I like that name.
It's just so, I'm so obsessed with these like baby names because there's no Melissas anymore.
Luke Perry's dead?
Is he this is not breaking news, but it's breaking news to us.
Dude, having the last name Perry isn't a good thing.
Being an actor. I shouldn't laugh, but
it's
when did he die?
Luke Perry? Come on.
2019.
You're telling me Luke Perry passed away 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
But Matthew Perry died, what?
2 years ago?
He had a stroke. Wow.
Luke
and it's
Perry
Stroke
had a
Awareness
stroke.
Month.
Wow.
Okay.
Boy, what's great about this show is we give you breaking news 7 years later.
Patrick also walks into the newsroom every single morning and reports what celebrity died overnight. He gives his note to the producers of what song he wants to dance to, and he gives his note to our editor Connie of who died.
There's a reason, okay? It's not to have this morbid curiosity. We just wonder if said celebrity or notable person what kind of treatment would his death get on the NBC Nightly News? Would it be A Block? Would it be breaking news?
Would there be a special report?
Would there be a special report?
Yes.
Or is it at the very end of the newscast, like in memorandum? So that's kind of
Luke Perry certainly didn't get a special report because you didn't even know that he died.
I did not know that. I mean, I grew up watching him and very likable.
You were more Melrose Place. I was.
Yes, I was a little more Melrose Place. No, I'm terrible.
I was actually more Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch 90210 and Melrose Place. Those were a little too old for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay.
We have been all over the board, haven't we?
Oh my gosh. Andrew Shue, that's who was on. He was great.
Who's that?
He was a character on Melrose Place who kind of like his career peaked there and then
now that there's
Elizabeth
no Sabres to talk about, this is what Daybreak will be like every day. Lucky you. Bye everybody.